trade by occupying Egypt and helping Tipu, Sultan of India. He sailed to Egypt with 40,000 soldiers and over 160 scientists, aiming to gather knowledge and spread Enlightenment ideals. After capturing Malta and landing in Alexandria, he won major battles like the Battle of the Pyramids. Napoleon also founded the Institute of Egypt to study the country's history and culture, but things took a turn when, in August 1798, the British Navy destroyed most of the French fleet in the Battle of the Nile. A year later, facing more losses, Napoleon abandoned his army and returned to France secretly. Strangely, despite this military failure, he was celebrated as a national hero, thanks to extensive propaganda he had built up over years. From newspapers and speeches to artwork and poetry, everything painted Napoleon as a heroic genius. Some of these stories, including those about his love life with Josephine, were exaggerated or even fabricated. In paintings, Napoleon was often depicted as a savior or as crossing the Alps on a mighty horse, though in reality, he crossed on a mule. These images were crafted to boost his public image as a godlike leader. By 1799, France was suffering from political corruption and unrest. Napoleon capitalized on this chaos and led a coup in November. He overthrew the government and set up the consulate, with himself as first consul. Fake referendums followed, with manipulated results showing that 99.9% of citizens supported him. Historians later revealed these numbers were fabricated. In 1702, another referendum made him consul for life, and in 1704, he crowned himself emperor. He didn't even try to hide his obsession with power. He famously said, "Power is my mistress. I've worked too hard to let anyone take her from me." Over the next decade, Napoleon fought across Europe. His ideas about freedom and revolution spread to other nations, inspiring people against monarchies. In Italy, for instance, he was seen as a liberator. Even Beethoven named a symphony after him, until he declared himself emperor. Then Beethoven removed Napoleon's name in disgust. Despite promoting revolutionary values at first, Napoleon eventually contradicted them. He reinstated slavery, restricted women's rights, and suppressed free speech. Instead of restoring democracy, he crowned his brothers kings in the lands he conquered: Joseph in Spain, Jerome in Westphalia, and Louis in Holland. Still, Napoleon's rule brought several lasting reforms. He introduced the Napoleonic Code, a clear and consistent legal system that's still influential today. He ended feudalism and promoted secularism, allowing religious freedom but keeping the church under state control. Economically, he created the Bank of France, stabilized the currency, and reformed the tax system so everyone had to pay. He also revamped education, opening primary and secondary schools, and establishing the University of France. He improved water systems in Paris and built modern markets to prevent food shortages. Although he wasn't a hate-filled dictator like Hitler, Napoleon's wars caused the deaths of millions. His downfall began with his failed invasion of Russia in 1812. The Russian army kept retreating and burning everything behind them. Napoleon reached Moscow, only to find it abandoned. With no supplies, his army had to retreat, and thousands died. In 1813, a coalition of European powers defeated him at the Battle of Leipzig, forcing him into exile on Elba. But in 1815, he escaped and briefly regained power before being crushed at the Battle of Waterloo. He was exiled again, this time to St. Helena, where he died in 1821. And that's the epic journey of Napoleon Bonaparte, a man of unmatched brilliance, deep flaws, and undeniable impact. Whether you view him as a hero or a tyrant, there's no denying his story shaped the course of European history. Let me know what you think of Napoleon in the comments below. And if you're planning to watch the new film, you'll now understand the full context behind the legend.